Are you struggling to stay consistent with your manifestation practices? If so, we've got Operation Manifestation Transformation. 3 months going all in on yourself. In March, we've got The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. In April, it's all about abundance. Universe, show us the money. And May is May I Believe in Myself. Self-love, self-worth, and confidence. If you want to join a community of like-minded people, join Operation Manifestation Transformation at pawspenny.com. Okie dokie, what's up, the Manifest Movement? So let me ask you this question. What is more important? Stopping the negative thoughts or having more positive thoughts? Think about that for a second, right? And I'm going to give you a story and I'm going to tell you the answer. So in my last manifestation challenge, I think it was around January 4th, I had a girl contact me and her message was absolutely heartbreaking. And she said that she had the engagement ring. She was engaged. They were trying for a baby. They had plans for the house. Now, I don't know if she had plans for like a renovation of a house or plans to buy a house. Like they had mortgage approval. I'm not really sure. But like, let's say this is a really steady relationship. They're engaged. They're about to get married. They're trying for a baby. They're getting the house, right? Everything. And then he breaks up with her. It's over. All her dreams, her plans, thinking that this is her person, that this is where her life is going to go, just ends. It just ends. And that is it. No more. So that happened 2 years ago. And she said she was finally ready to start my manifest challenge. But she wanted to manifest a soulmate. But anytime she thought about the soulmate, the pain of the past relationship came back. It was just like, I think she said like a kick in the stomach. It was just like so painful. Because when you are in a relationship like that, you have the ring, you're trying for a baby, you are visualizing your life with this person. That all ends and you have to start again. How do you visualize? And also she thought, this is my person. I have lost my chance. How do I move forward from here? I'm now at the stage 2 years later where I recognize and acknowledge that it is time to move on, right? So firstly, what I said to her was, but how do I get over this feeling of despair when I'm, the thoughts of him come back into my life, all that stuff. And firstly, I said to her, like, the number one thing first up is it is normal to have this pain. Like it is totally normal to feel this heartache and pain after a relationship breakdown, after grief, after whatever is really big in your life is happening. We have to have those feelings. We have to have those emotions. You'll never know joy if you don't feel pain. We have to feel it. We have to go through it and not stamp on it or push it down because it will come back. It will surface in another way. We have to acknowledge this is painful. And it is painful. A breakup is painful. A breakup when you're engaged, another level of pain. A breakup when you're married and you're getting divorced, I imagine another level of pain, right? So, I mean, sure, I had it. Like when I was going out with a guy for 5 years and he broke up, it took me 2 years to get over him, So I get it. I get the heartache. But at some point, you have to recognize that you are not going to change the past. You cannot change what happened in the past. You can only move forward and change the way you perceive what happened to you. And a lot of the time was, let's say, he did this to me, he wronged me, he ruined my life. What are you telling yourself, right? So I always say that manifestation is a decision. It is a decision that time's up. I've got to stop dwelling in the past, being a victim, having this story. And I'm not saying it's not hard. I know that's hard. I know the breakup was hard. I know that. But at some point, you have to stop being the victim, feeling sorry for yourself, telling yourself the same story over and over and over again. Flip the script and think of it differently. And all I said to her was, clearly was not your person if he left. That's not your person. Your person is out there. There is somebody that is out there for you. And imagine, they're even better. If you thought this guy was great, which you clearly did because you got engaged to him, imagine how amazing the next person is going to be. Even better. They are your person. You will meet somebody again. And then I said to her, whenever you start to feel these emotions of, I can't believe he did that. We had a house together. I have to start all over again. It's so unfair. All my friends are getting married now. Now I'm behind. Like, why did he do this to me? Why did he waste all this time? I just said to her, you do my tip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. Let's call her Susan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go, Susan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go, Susan. And I really think it's important to say your name because you're telling yourself, let it go. And what this does, it's just breaking the cycle of that thought. And you're telling yourself, it's time to let that go and stop allowing these thoughts to go over and over and over and over in your head. And this can apply to everything. Why didn't you get the job? Okay, it's time to move on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. It's not your job. I'm moving on. Like, I am moving on. Why did that guy ghost me or that girl ghost me on the app? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. You don't know why. And no amount of going over and over and over again in your head is going to change the situation. So you are doing nothing for your vibration. You are doing nothing for manifestation if you continue to allow these thoughts to absolutely consume you. The only thing they're doing is lowering your vibe. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. So she did the whole 21-day manifestation challenge. I gave her this tip. I had sent her back a voice note. I'm a big fan of voice notes. And then I got a message from her just in the last week. So like, let's say 2 weeks after the manifestation challenge ended. And she said, Yvonne, that tip has changed my life. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. Because anytime I felt myself going back there, going back to those emotions, the pain, everything, I just said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it just stopped. It just cut it. Because I did recognize it was time. I'm 2 years later and I need to start focusing on the present and manifesting for the future and letting that part go instead of constantly replaying it in my mind. And it really just stopped those negative thoughts. So there are scientific studies done on whether or not it is more important for you to stop negative thoughts or to have more positive thoughts. And the outcome is it is more important and more beneficial for your mental health to stop the negative thoughts than to have more positive ones, right? Because you don't necessarily need to be positive. You could just be neutral. That's okay. But if you constantly have these negative thoughts, this negative inner voice, that can totally spin your head around and around and around and around. And if you have the tools to cut those out, cut, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. Then you can move on. And it's not like you need to move on with this like, oh, I'm so grateful for this and I'm so grateful for that. And life is so good. And oh, great. It's a jolly good time. But you have stopped the crazy negativity and it's brought you back to baseline. And sometimes baseline is a really good place to be. You're not being totally positive. You're not being negative. You're just being neutral. So remember that it's not all about positive thinking. Oh, I need to be positive. I need to be positive. It's more about controlling the negativity in your life, controlling those thoughts. But the key to all of this, those thoughts, is becoming aware of them. Awareness is absolutely key. Sometimes we don't even realize that this pattern of thoughts is going on in the background constantly. So how do you become aware? You start becoming aware of everything. So like one of my tips that I love is writing in your notes in your phone all the good things. So you're consciously waking up, going out in your day, looking for the good things in your life. The coffee that you bought, the walk to the studio, even though it's raining outside, you're still grateful. I was taking my daughter to school this morning. It was raining. And I was like, wow, it rains a lot. And my daughter said, it rains sometimes, but not every single day. And I said, yeah. And aren't we grateful that we have warm coats and we've got an umbrella? She cycles and I walk. We have an umbrella and we've got warm gloves. So we are looking for the positive. Look for all the little positive things in your day. So that's one thing that you can do. Look for all the positive things in your day. That makes you aware of everything instead of it's just kind of like moving through life, sailing through, not really aware of your surroundings, the people, what's going on. You're just like, you're asleep. You're like effectively sleepwalking through your life. Become aware. So all the good things is a really great example of how to become aware of things that are going on. The second thing is just start practicing gratitude. Even if you're going on a walk, you can start like saying what you're grateful for. I'm grateful that I have an umbrella. I'm grateful that I'm going for a coffee. I'm grateful I can pay for my coffee. I'm grateful I live in a safe country. I'm grateful for the podcast that I'm listening to. Whatever it is, grateful for my ears that I can hear it. Grateful for my phone that it's connecting me to all this information in the world, these podcasters, right? So that's another way to become aware because gratitude makes you aware in the moment. And anything that brings you back to that present moment makes you pause and think about what's going on. So those are two really good ways of starting to become aware of your thoughts. And really, really look at your life and look at the areas of your life where you become triggered, whether it's at a traffic light and someone's not moving quickly enough, if it's, a colleague and what they do, these little triggers, really become aware and think about why. And think about all the stories that you keep repeating to yourself. I'm not fit enough. I can't do that. I'm not a morning person. That's really hard for me. Oh, I could never do that. So awareness is key. So that's it. The less negative thoughts, the better. So it's more about being able to control those negative thoughts than trying to have way more positive ones. Obviously, positive ones are great. We want to try and have a good vibrational frequency, but key thing here is controlling the inner voice, controlling that inner critic, controlling those thoughts. When I interviewed Jerry Hussey, who's one of the leading voices in mindset in Ireland, he wrote the book, I Am, I Can, I Will. And I said to him, why the book? And he said that he got off a train and a guy asked him, he was talking to this guy on the train, this guy and his wife. Jerry was talking to him about the books and different things. And when he got off, the guy asked him, Jerry, if you only had one piece of advice to give me, you could only give me one, what would it be? And Jerry was thinking like, oh, your gut, your microbiome, your gut, your brain health, your this, your that. And he was like, your inner voice. If you only worked on your inner voice, that is enough to start you on your journey. Because your inner voice and what you're saying to yourself is key to your success, which is key to your success in manifestation. So there you go. Until next time, and I hope to see you all on the next Manifest Challenge. Join us. Whoop, whoop. March, April, May. Let's go.